The best tips and deals don't go public. They go to subscribers first. So join our newsletter now. The best tips and deals don't go public. They go to subscribers first. So join our newsletter now. The best tips and deals don't go public. They go to subscribers first. So join our newsletter now.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Nick Baldwin, co-founder of Lab Coat Agents, and today we're here with Kyle from Lone Wolf, and we're going to talk about Leads Plus. So as the market cools with fall and the holiday season, things start to slow down. But the good news is the buyers and sellers who remain active are the most motivated. So thank you for being here on this webinar to see how Lone Wolf Leads Plus can help you connect with serious clients focused on high priority areas and keep your pipeline moving strong while others are winding down and taking some time off. So Kyle, thank you for joining us. Kyle Hunter, industry principal at Lone Wolf. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Nice to see you again.
Nick, it's always a pleasure. Appreciate you guys having us on to share a little bit about what we're doing again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping into Leads Plus. I remember the last time we did talk about Leads Plus once before, but I remember it was kind of a new product for you guys, and now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how it works, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We actually launched Leads Plus on Lab Coat Agent on our webinar, I think back in July, maybe.
Yeah.
And so now we got a couple months under our belt, and would love to come back and that's what I'm doing, is really sharing some of the successes and some of the results that we've had and how we're doing it just, a little bit differently than some of the others, where, as you mentioned, we're kind of slowing down into a cool market. So yeah, appreciate you let me join. I'm going to share my screen.
Yep, go ahead.
We're going to do a little bit of, I'm going to show you a couple slides, but I'm actually going to get into the zip codes and show you how you could, claim your zip code and kind of how that works. So, stay tuned for that as we get in. I think it's a little different than what we did last time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let me see here, and I'm going to share entire screen. All right, so it should be coming up. All right, yep. Very good. So yeah, we're going into the fall, and as we've talked in the past, I'm a son of a broker. I've been in the business a long time and understand that various markets have different, ebbs and flows. And, I'm in Florida, so a little bit different market. We actually, have some surging coming in January and February with some northern folks coming down. But other markets, obviously, you have ebbs and flows, but there's always people that are out there searching and looking. And, now is a time to really continue to cultivate those leads. And so that's where we help, supplement that funnel. And so talk to you a little bit about, today's markets. I saw Tristan put out something, I think last night, but basically the very differences between, the different markets. So in the Northeast, you still have a seller's market. You still have listings that are going quickly, multiple offers. You have other areas, other places that are, in Florida where I'm at and in the Sun Belt that, you're really looking for buyers. So the listing supply is there, but you're really needing some different types of folks that come in. And so, having that balance and trying to find those is something that we're, trying to help our realtors succeed at. So obviously you have different dips, you have different markets, you as the professional know your markets. And so you still have those challenges, just not enough leads. Everyone has a sphere of influence. I think I mentioned last time, the average person knows 7 real estate agents. So 7 sphere of influences that are all kind of fitting into that bucket. They can only choose one. So, with that, you're going to need to have some way to supplement. I have stories or read stories almost weekly where someone's family goes and chooses another agent or has something else, and so that where that's challenging, you have to continue to work the process that I know that you guys preach towards in other areas as well. But having those people to actually reach out to, really helps. So all of your traditional, I actually saw something earlier too, where somebody was mentioning that, cold calling is still at door knocking, though it's not working, and social's not working. And that's not really what we're finding.
Yeah, that was Tristan put that out. He saw something on Reddit about it.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
something
and
on Reddit.
The guy was saying that social media is dead and cold calling is back, and I disagree with that. But everyone has their opinions. We know what opinions are like.
Absolutely, and I guess different markets. But I will say that what we're finding is that social is still very active. Social is, people are still going through the process. You're not going to get them off of Facebook. You're not going to get them off of Instagram. That's where people go to do their social.
I mean, the readiness factor of leads might be different.
Yep, absolutely. And, but they're also doing multiple things. They're doing multiple things. I was actually at a conference a couple weeks ago. Jared James, I don't know if you may or may not.
Yeah, I know Jared really well. He did a webinar with us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Jared's great. He had a session, and he brought up some facts about, how many people are going to ChatGPT, and it's surprisingly very high that are going to do some searching and to do some of those types of searching. But again, it doesn't stop people that are motivated to go in and looking to make a purchase to do multiple things. And that's really the key factor is they're looking at that, but then they're also going to social. They're also, their average, they're going to multiple places. And so, it still gets back to that speed to lead and being in front of them and using a process to take those people with those buyers and sellers with propensity to buy or sell in the upcoming time frame. You still got to put them in that process to move them through your funnel. And so that's kind of where we've helped. So where we fit into that is that unlike many of the pay at close, which I know that is a big trend, and there's a lot of folks that will pay 35-40% to have that lead be maybe a closer to lead, and you're not paying for it, but you're paying for it at the end. Mm-hmm. What we've done is we dip back into the old lead generation funnel, where we can generate a lot more leads that are maybe top or higher in the funnel that might take a little longer. But you can apply the methods that you've learned to helping convert those at a much lower price as well. That's the other big piece,
and without like a 40% referral fee.
Well, exactly. I mean, you start doing that, and you're not at one of those 100% companies anymore.
Right. So, I mean, on top of that, and your brokerage split, I mean, you're lucky to walk away with 20%.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we'll show you a little bit. And again, this is so our approach is really looking at zip codes radius on the listing side leads, very specific to zip code, because our capture that we've used, we actually rolled from our old HomeSpotter product. So HomeSpotter is a company that we acquired that a few years back, but they had some really leading technology, and that was Lone Wolf's position, is to take companies that led in their various areas and bring them into the fold. And so we've leveraged their abilities to have high interaction and with buyers and sellers on the boost side of our fence, and really progress that into the lead capture, so that these lead capture are buyers and sellers that have a higher propensity to transact. So, what's my house worth? What, can I get estimates? There's different things that we use in that social, to try to capture those leads. And that's essentially what we're doing.
I noticed there, maybe you'll get into this later, but I noticed there you can claim zip codes. So I guess that helps narrow down how many agents someone will see in that market?
It does, and so we have that limited. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to pivot and we'll jump over here. So
Okay.
lwolf.com, and I think there's a link in here. But right on lwolf.com, we have a lot of information about Leads Plus, right on the site. We have different ways. There's different ways of reporting and tracking and a lot of information about it. Here's kind of how we do it, how we have those automated campaigns on social. But when you go in, this is essentially what you see. And we have
cool.
and they're lead packages. So, what is, I don't know, maybe somebody can drop their zip code in.
Well, let's just do my zip code.
Okay, let's do that.
So 48348.
48348. Clarkston.
Yep.
All right. And we'll drive over there. And it looks like there are availability in your zip code. So we restrict this to a certain number. And if anybody wants to follow along, they can go in and put their zip code in. But essentially, the way this works is that, there's a $99 monthly fee, like a servicing fee, but then you have various lead packages. So 6 to 10, 9 to 15, 12 to 20, large 16 to 28, and extra large. And the secret is, the extra large package, essentially you're going to get all the leads. So again, we have a cap on all of these leads to make sure that we're delivering. And I'll tell you right now, we are over delivering. So we are over delivering on leads. In some cases, twice as many leads, but we are delivering on these leads. Now, are they ones that are calling up and saying, hey, Nick, I'd like to buy 123 Main Street. I'm going to put in this price and I'd like to close in 45 days. And here's my pre-approval.
I mean, they're not saying, thank goodness I saw your ad in my news feed because I was looking for a real estate agent and there you were.
Exactly. So there, again, this is where you have a difference. But again, so let's just say the standard package, it's $450 a month for that package. In this case, buyer. Now, buyer is a radius because there's, they don't necessarily are putting in their zip code. We know they're coming from an area. So in many cases, you'll get leads that are, adjacent, or you'll get leads that are in that area. But, that just helps because we're just going to give you more. And so basically we're over delivering. But again, if you're looking at $549 for leads, if you sell, one of those leads in a year, you're probably going to generate way more than it would pay for the entire year.
I just got off the phone with realtor.com, and just to compare it, they wanted to charge $500 and something for like 40 leads a year. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about 20 leads a month versus 40 leads a year. I mean, that's a huge for the same price. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like I said, I was at Jared's, and there's a lot of different ways. I mean, there's different reasons that people are buying leads. Some, obviously there's people that have the thought process of, I'm going to work my sphere. I'm going to work, and that's it. And, I'm not going to, but a lot of people want to supplement their leads. And again, if you have a good process and you put it into that process, there are people that will convert that are not part of your sphere that are coming in from this leads. And it doesn't mean that this is the only way, but this is a way to start and to create action and to, to reach out and have momentum. All the normal rules apply, speed to lead, access, all that kind of stuff is always going to be there, right? You still have to be a quality realtor, a real estate agent that is doing the things that you would need to do. But at the same time, you essentially get that head start. Had somebody, and again, a lot of people that use process and use follow-up tactics and use coaches, they're more into it because they understand that the more you have in that top of funnel, the more that you're going to be able to move down into that transaction. And It might be 3 months down the road. It might be 6 months down the road. And if you are continuing to work those leads, eventually, many times you can convert them into buyers and sellers. This lady that I spoke to, very nice lady that was a high producer in Las Vegas, and her son moved to San Antonio for college. And like many parents, which I may or may not do when my kids go to college, she decided that she was going to relocate and be next to her. And she's a high producing agent. She did about 25 deals a year by herself, which no team, so that was pretty impressive. But she was moving to San Antonio, and she's like, Kyle, this is great for me because I am getting into a new market, and I don't know, I don't have a sphere here. I am new to this. I know how to sell real estate, and I'm really good, and I can do all the things that count for this, but I need to get into this market, and this is a way that I can help jumpstart getting into that new market.
So what do the ads look like? Can you show us?
I mean, that's a great question. The ads are really, there's a couple different ads.
I noticed. I remember you were saying that there's different.
So this is one. Do you know how much your home worth? You can click here. When you get the actual campaign and the ad, it goes and it gives them their a place to capture their information, and they can have somebody that gives them their ad cost.
So you guys supply like a landing page for that?
We do. Yep. And you have your own landing page that you can go through, and a lot of people will add that to their actual websites or different capture points or on on their social. So a lot of different ways to do that. But if I go back here, let's just say I want this. Many people say, you know what, I want this one, and I'm going to select that one. I'm also, I work here too, so maybe I want a couple.
Oh, you can.
When you hit continue, it takes you right in and allows you to, manage that account. Here's my subscriptions. It's all there for you. It is right now, and right now it's a monthly subscription, so you could do it month to month. We're going to change that very soon. So this is at the end. And the reason we're going to change that is because a lot of times it takes a couple months to show that efficacy. Right. And for people to lock in zip codes, we're going to go to, I think probably a 3 month, 3 month minimum. But essentially what that does is that
that's still not so bad. I mean, quarterly.
you got to have a little time to put them into your nurture campaign and sync that in. So, so that's, basically how this works. And you can go in and again, claim your zip code, add it in. I do want to get back and show you, here's just a kind of a really quick ROI calculator that we have, $425,000. If that's your average sale price, let's say it might be a little bit less than that. So maybe, let's just say 415. So in the lower mark, 3% per side commission. We'll just leave that. 15 leads a month. So, you're in that range of $400 a month. If you convert 10% of those, and you're at an 80-20 split, your ROI is 2,900%, almost 3,000% ROI. So, I mean, basically you can easily generate, what, if you just convert one a year, like I said, you're paying for the entire year worth of subscription. So it's certainly worth it. We've had a lot of good performance. Like I said, I came back after we launched. Because it's new, we still have tons of the zip codes availability. There's a few that are run out, but a lot of availability. And because there's not as many people in the zip codes now, again, we're over delivering. So you have a lot more leads right now that are being able to put into that system. I did want to do two more things really quick. And then, I think we have time, maybe if there's any questions or anything. But this is the hub that you'll see. So when you go in, you're going to be able to see this hub. Let me just put it in presentation so you can see it a little better. But here, it's going to show you your total leads. If you have seller leads, buyer leads, it shows you those different performance there. And then your average leads per month. It's going to show you where your area is located, kind of gives you some charts. You have the ability for subscriptions. Under the Marketing Hub, that's where you can grab those landing pages and see what they're doing. We're also taking a lot of suggestions and feedback from users that are wanting to enhance different things. So we have some new cool things coming out in the future, asking additional questions. There's some people that want additional qualifying questions.
Yeah.
Like, are you pre-approved, or are you working with a lender to maybe help, supplement some leads and have some lenders help out with that. So very cool ability for you to go right into your foundation dashboard, which is, if you're using any other Lone Wolf, it's going to go right into that foundation dashboard, which you already have, and you'll be able to maneuver there. And then the last two things I want to point out, and then happy to take any questions you have. But how do you get those leads? What do they do? Multiple ways. Number one, you can print out. You have Excel. You have emails that send those leads. But also Zapier. Zapier will connect for the number of turns. It's the free version that you can use, and it will put them virtually into any CRM you have. So it's completely agnostic. You can have whatever CRM and have it drop in or put in your spreadsheet, or however that you best manage your leads. They're going to come, right in for you automatically.
And you can obviously just keep them in there in the actual dashboard if you wanted to.
Sure, absolutely. Yep. You have a list of all of your leads, and you'll be able to see all of them right in the list. I think I have.
But if you want a drip campaign, you might want to put it into a CRM.
Yeah, and we do have best practices. So add to your drip. Obviously call them out as fast as you can. Look at where they fit into the funnel and put them in those areas. But again, it's super simple. You can change your subscription. We've had lots of people come back, and they'll start out with a small package with a zip code or a medium, and then they'll add in zip codes. And that's really what we see a lot of people doing, is wanting to kind of expand into other areas because they see, that they're coming in and they're converting. We had someone out in Orange County that she basically bought a medium package, and she started going through it. And, it did take 2 months. And on the second month, when she was like, oh, what's going on here? 3 deals. She had 3 deals that came in. And in Orange County, $1.2 million. Sure, that's not a big deal, but you think about the commission you're making on that. I mean, it just absolutely. And so now she's a huge advocate and really helping us get this out there. And again, it's only been out a few months. And so we are seeing high conversion rates on people that are, using this as a process. I know sometimes you get brokers on here too. We do have broker, and if you are a broker and you have an interest in this, where let's say you are bringing in leads that you are maybe cultivating for agents and giving them to maybe newer agents, or having a internet inside sales team or something that you're basically warming up those leads. We do have some packages there for brokerages as well that have some differences, but
that's great, especially also if you have a brokerage where you distribute leads, if you're doing like a teamerage model.
Teamerages. Yep. Lots of teamerages where they have, multiple people. You get new people on the team, and it's like, hey, here's people to go out and reach out to, and that's kind of what they're doing, drumming up business. That's kind of that's what we got there.
Yeah, so love it. I think it's a great deal because if you compare it to Zillow and Realtor.com, it's very cost effective.
Yep. So again, I think there's a link in the comments, but you can also just go to lwolf.com and go to Leads Plus. There's a lot more.
Yeah, if you go to lwolf.com and then at the top click Solutions, and then you'll see Leads Plus.
Yeah, it's under Engage. So Lone Wolf. Obviously, we do a lot of things that we've talked about on previous, whether it's Cloud CMA or broker metrics for looking for information, or our Transact, Zipform, Transaction Desk. So a lot of different tools. And if you're using one of those, it's even easier because it just adds it right into your foundation.
Yeah, love it.
But again, Leads Plus, here it is. We'd love for you to, go in, drop in your zip code, see if that zip code's available, and start.
And you can also scan that code. Is there a deal for lab coats? I don't know if there is.
For lab coats, we are holding the price at the $99 per month.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of the deal. It's $99 per month. If you're not in lab coats, $125.
Okay.
That change is going to come here in a couple weeks, but yeah, $99.
All right, so you're grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in. That's right. Yep.
Got it. Awesome.
So,
Well, this is awesome. I appreciate it. I love seeing new tech and new ways to generate leads, especially I just got back into production myself. I'm not new to my market, but I'm new as an agent in my market. You know what I mean? Because I relocated from New Jersey to Michigan about 7-8 years ago. So I'm in that situation of that lady that you mentioned where she wanted to move to be closer to her kid. So I'm in that situation too. So generating leads through social media is a cost-effective thing to do for sure. So awesome. Well, Kyle, thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. Always fun to see what Lone Wolf is working on. Go check out Leads Plus at lwolf.com or scan the QR code on the screen. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you next time, Nick. Thanks.
Okay.